Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Laura Train Mama. Today we are looking at the third and final story contained within the July edition of Thomas and Friends magazine. It's issue 850. The story we will be looking at today is called Buckled Tracks. Enjoy! It was a hot summer's day in Sodor. Belle and Flynn were busy putting out fires all over the island. There are always more fires when the weather's hot, said Belle. It was hot at Knapford Station too. Dowager Hat brought Sir Topham Hatt a special hat to keep his head cool, but he didn't like it. "A white hat will reflect the heat and keep you cool," said Dowager Hat. "It makes me look as if I'm going on a safari," replied Sir Topham Hatt. It got so hot that some of the tracks began to buckle and bend. This would be dangerous as any engine that went over them could derail. When Belle went over the tracks, she saw that they were buckled, but she didn't want to use her water to cool them down. She might need it to put out a fire. "It's best if I save my water for now," thought Belle. Later that day, Belle and Flynn were called out to another fire. Belle wished she had cooled the tracks, as when she went over them, she started to derail. "Flynn, you need to get to that fire before it spreads," shouted Belle. "Put out the fire, Flynn." Flynn had to use his road tyres to get to the scene of the fire. He then put out the fire by himself using 2 water cannons. "Take that fire, Fiery Flynn, to the rescue," said Flynn, as the fire fizzled out. Thomas and Rocky arrived to get Belle back on the rails. Thomas had a brilliant idea to stop the tracks buckling again. "Maybe the tracks would keep cool and not buckle and bend if we painted them white," said Thomas. White paint was just the thing to keep the rails cool. Sir Topham Hatt's white hat kept his head cool, but he still didn't like it. The end. That brings us to the end of the third and final story contained within the Thomas and Friends magazine for July. However, before we go, there is the story quiz. If you are listening to this video but have missed the other 2, you may wish to pause here, not do the quiz and go back and watch them so that you are fully up to speed with all 3 stories. However, you may just risk it for a biscuit and just see if you know the answers. Either way, I'm going to jump in now and we're going to go through that quiz. So, question 1. Which engine is the first story about? Was it A, Shane, or B, Lorenzo? That's right. It was Shane. If you guessed Shane at home, well done. Question 2. Which country is the first story set in? Was it A, China, or B, Australia? That's right. It was Australia. Do you remember how they had to collect the kangaroos? Me too. If you guessed Australia, well done. Question 3. Who gets derailed in the second story? Was it A, Flynn, or B, Belle? That's right. It was Belle, because Flynn went on to out the fires using 2 water cannons. So that does bring us to the end of the story quiz. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, please don't forget to thumbs up, like the video, check you're subscribed. We will be enjoying more Thomas and Friends stories until we reach the next edition of Thomas and Friends magazine for August. And in the meantime, have a great day.